everyone, this is Christine and welcome to the Maple Diaries. So today we're gonna be discussing this one common question, which is the Canadian work experience. For coming here, I am quite scared or quite terrified of this term, the Canadian work experience, because even until now, I don't really understand that if it really does existed in this context of Canadian workplace. But to be honest, in my personal experience, I haven't experienced that. It wasn't really a barrier for me in looking for a job. So my first goal is to be able to get a job in a corporate office. Because my background, I was doing marketing, and I've also had experience in HR or recruitment. And for me, like I didn't really search for any job in marketing because I feel that here in Ottawa they might require a marketing person to be bilingual, because I don't speak French, so I didn't really did any job search for that field. Although I really wanted to pursue my passion in recruitment or in HR, so that's why I just took a chance of applying for those kind of jobs. But apparently my first job interview was with HR, and it was through the Manpower agency, but it wasn't really a successful one because they were asking for some certification, or they were even asking if I do have any background with payroll, which I don't have because I was more focused on the recruitment side of the human resources. Instead, I have applied for a job for this role that I have no experience at all. It was called like an exam. It was like a production coordinator in examinations. So that's the one that I had applied for, and luckily I was able to get the job. And it wasn't really it wasn't as scary like what I've thought. Well, it's a panel interview, and it's all behavioral questions. Everything runs smoothly because probably I feel really comfortable with all my interviewers. Canadians are very nice people. They're very, genuine. And I made sure that I have this specific skill sets that they were looking for. And I believe that Canadian work experience applies to the soft skills and the hard skills. Writing a computer program, or you do have that specific skill sets with any knowledge with HTML or in Photoshop. Those are the hard skills. But for the soft skills can be considered like if you can speak English, if you can write or understand, and even express yourself in English or in any foreign language. How do you deal with your colleagues in your workplace? Like the culture fit. How do you work along with your colleagues? So I think that's one of the most things that are very important in identifying your hard skills and soft skills. And for me, what I've observed here in Canada, most of the Canadian workplace and most employers, they're always looking specifically for the candidates cultural fit. This is very important for them. So I was able to find my first job through Manpower agency, and I think I've worked there for less than a year to that organization. So that was my first initial Canadian work experience. That was my first job here in Canada, and I was successful because I was able to get a job in a corporate office. And I think my first pay was only I would say that it's per hour. It was like $22 per hour, which is not bad because initially the minimum pay here in Canada it's like $15 to $16 per hour. So mine was above the average, and I feel so it was really a very good experience for me, how to familiarize myself with the Canadian workplace and how to deal with my colleagues, because I remember I'm the only Asian, I'm the only Filipino in the office. So it was like a different kind of atmosphere, because back then in Dubai, when I was working with different organizations, there's plenty of Filipinos, so it's so easy for me to mix well with the organization. So my second job, because at that time I was already my husband and I were already planning to purchase our own home. We were here for on our second year in Canada, but one of the main requirements of our broker was for me to find a full-time job, because at that time I was really enjoying doing part-time job. I was able to find a full-time job in a non-profit organization It wasn't really like, you know, a dream job for me because I was really eyeing for an HR or recruitment role. But then again, I said, okay, I think this would really enhance my experience. This will improve me as a person as well. So I had that job for a year, and while I was working there, I also took the chance of going back to school. So I did my I was a part-time student, an online part-time student. This happened like just last year during this pandemic, because I'm working from home and I said I want to do something else. So I was a student during weekends, and it was really, I think I was really grateful because you know, when you are a permanent resident here in Canada, there's plenty of opportunities for you. So with me being as a student, I didn't pay for anything. I just received a student grant. I didn't even use my student loan, so I won't have to pay back the government. So I received my grant, and I just really did well in the first two courses that I took. I intend to finish my part-time studies probably within the scope of 2 to 3 years while I'm working also. So, and then I'm really more grateful now. It's because of this opportunity of me going back to school. My motivation of finding a role in the human resources was really more, you know, was more stronger, and I was really like more focused. So I end up being hired again, but by the first employer that where I got my job, my first time job. So that was the organization that I worked for the first time. So I came back there, but I was already working with the HR. So currently I am just I'm just a new employee there, and I'm so happy that I was able to land the job that I really wanted. So to make it short, I didn't really had the chance to do any survival job, and it's more of a decision for me, a personal decision. I think if your goal is to focus on what kind of job that you wanted to have here in Canada, I think you'll end up successful. But on the other hand, you also have to make sure that you have a plan B if things won't work out. To be honest, I haven't really encountered Canadian work experience. Most of the job openings here in Canada, you will never find that term as one of the requirements. So for me, that's the reason why that I don't believe in Canadian work experience. However, it also does make sense that it's also good that you will be able to get your first job here. So somehow it also be your reference or your first starting point to be able to say how confident you are to be able to work or successful in a Canadian workplace. And for me, it's more important for you to really understand what are your hard skills versus your soft skills. And what I've noticed here in most Canadian workplace, the employers are they're very specific, or they're very for them it's very important that a person or that an applicant really fits their company culture. So you really have to understand what is a company culture, and if you're really cultural fit, if you're cultural fit as an applicant or employee to that particular organization. I think being open and being able to really express yourself well in English, you don't have to really you don't really have to be so good in English, or you don't really have to have that accent. For people here in Canada, they're not really judging you from your skin color, from your race. To be honest, it's very, for me, I find the competition here in seeking a job, it's not that difficult, because from the countries that I've been with last time, it's quite a challenge. Like if my CVs before, I do have my photos in the in your CV, and sometimes I find it discriminatory, because sometimes an employer would see, oh, this applicant came from Europe, so this person would be so knowledgeable in English, they're really foreign speakers, so they're gonna go for that person. And if they see someone from Asia, maybe they won't get it right away. But here it's like, they have no clue that you from where you are, and because they don't see any picture, any photo of you from your CV. You don't have any personal information written in your CV because that's not allowed here in Canada. So here in Canada, the discrimination law is very strong, and in the workplace it shouldn't it wasn't a practice at all. So for me, the Canadian work experience really focuses more probably on your reference. I mean, once you get a job here, or once you have, before coming here, for sure you have your list of reference. So make sure that you have a very good reference as well, because this would also help you gain somehow the trust of your new employer for you to get the job. And I think my key takeaway here, like for my personal experience, just when you come here, just make sure you just simply follow the rule. Update your CV in Canadian CV format. Make sure to update your LinkedIn profile, and make sure you list all the job search engines that you have. And one suggestion is that try also to look in manpower agencies. This might be just a role in part-time jobs, but you never know. If you do it well, then eventually your employer would hire you for good. So somehow that's what happened to me. My first job was a part-time for that very good organization, and when I moved to a full-time job, I realized that I want to do something else, like with HR. So I didn't realize that my third employer in my own field would be the first company that I work with. So life is full of surprises. You never know. So make sure that you really build your confidence, build your experience here. And it's really a total for me, it's a different kind of environment, a different kind of workplace. And I would say that here, Canadians, they're really they're very professional in the workplace. And it's like when they work, they really work. So you as a person, you also kind of get motivated with your colleagues as well on how they perform in their jobs. So I hope you have learned again from this episode today. Please make sure to like and subscribe on this channel, and make sure also to click the bell notification and down below. And thank you so much, and I hope to see you around. And be safe and enjoy your day, guys. Bye.